Hey everyone, so thanks for tuning in today. Now, today I wanted to talk about the doors of opportunity. A quote that has resonated with me this week was that you can be led to the door, but it's up to you to walk through it. That has a lot of meaning from both a spiritual sense and a worldly sense. From a spiritual sense, God can get you to where you need to be, but it's up to you and your will to take the steps to see it through. Now, from a worldly sense, we talk a lot about networking opportunities. Once you meet someone, they can either help you get an interview for something or get you a job at the connections that they know. But it's up to you to, one, in the first scenario, prep for the interview and do what you need to do to make an impression. Or the same with if someone helps you get a job, you will have to work very hard to walk through that door to keep that job. But I want to take a step back for a second and talk about the doors of opportunity. Not every door is a door that you are meant to walk through. And there is also an appointed time for you to walk to a certain door or through a certain door. The doors of success, in my opinion, can be broken down into a few categories. One is your profession, another is your area of living, or you can look at it from an income perspective, personal relationships, and depending on your life circumstances and goals, it can be a lot more. It's funny because, believe it or not, if you were young and played the childhood game MASH, where you predict the future of the type of house you're living in, your income, who your husband or your wife are going to be, the number of kids, etc., you are somewhat prepped to look at many life choices that this world has to offer. Now, obviously, back then, it was all for show and play, but it was still kind of a stepping stone to what was to come. So I personally thank the creators of that game because it was unintentionally prepping me. Now, during the game of MASH, before you go through the method of finding the magic number by drawing those funny little swirls, you have to go and write down different options. So for example, for the number of kids, you wrote down 3 to 5 choices, whether you're going to have 1 kid, 4 kids, 10 kids, you name it. If income was a category, you wrote down those options as well as area of living, color of car, the type of car, etc. All in all, it somewhat is equivalent to what we do when we're looking at different opportunities and goals for ourselves today. So for example, if you go with one career choice that makes 45,000 or another that goes with 70,000, do you go with a career in computer science or computer engineering? When you look at personal relationships, you're looking at what you want in a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. And when you play the game of Smash or Mash or Mash It or whatever you want to name it, you looked at the different categories here and we wrote down kind of 1 or 2 names of people that were trending, rich and famous, and then others that were also known for being bums. Well, in essence, you want to do the same thing when you're looking at your dating options. No one is perfect, but you want to start with the basics. Do they value the same beliefs? Are they independent? Are they hardworking? And do they have a job? Well, just like the game of MASH and their options, I want you to take a look at your doors of opportunities and write down your options. It's always good to do an internal check with yourself at least once a year. And no, I'm not just talking about your New Year resolution type of check. So, for example, some questions you might want to ask yourselves are, where do you want to live long term? What career choices do you have based on your experiences and education? Are you looking for a relationship? And if so, what are you looking for in a relationship? Do you want to purchase a home, stay living in an apartment, etc.? Now, each one of these doors of opportunities has locks, and no, they're not like regular keys, right? These keys are kind of the steps that you need to take to be able to put them on the doors for you to walk through it. So for example, say you have a career door that you want to walk through. Do you have to get a certification for it? Do you have to gain more experience as a prerequisite? Or do you need to go back to school altogether? Or if you're thinking about hopping back on the dating scene, ask yourself, what is your ultimate goal? Are you looking to date or be in a serious relationship for marriage? Do you want to give up time to make more time for someone else? Or is it the right time if you are really trying to accomplish other things? So that's just to kind of give you some perspective of different questions and things that you want to ask yourself as far as your career and personal choices. Now, what I recommend you doing is purchasing a notebook if you're old fashioned and writing these things down. Or if you're new school, use the features of technology. You've got the notes and the task features on your phone, iPad, MacBook, etc. Take some time to write down your doors of opportunity and what you need to do to create the keys to walk through them. Remember, as we said earlier, people can lead you there, but it's up to you to do the rest and take on what is needed so that you can walk through the door. Also, keep in mind that sometimes people will lead you to a door, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean you should walk through it. Which each of the door of opportunity, create goals and steps to obtain the keys. Take some time to ask yourself, does this align with my career goals, my personal goals, my values and beliefs? And is it really the best time for me to walk through it? Also note, how long will you work to prep for that door of opportunity? If you don't think you can do it but once a year, that's fine, but try to work towards a quarterly check. That way that you can gauge whether you're on the right path. It's always important to self-reflect to see how far you've gone in life, where you are, and where you want to go. Again, keep up with your journal or phone notes. Look at your doors of opportunity and work to walk through the ones that are important to you. So thanks again so much for tuning into this short little video and episode of Your Doors of Opportunity. Have a good one. Bye.